This is another knowledge minute. Priming the EPA 2010 MX engine with the DAVCO ShopPro. After performing a service on the MX fuel system, return the engine to its normal operating configuration. Be sure there is an adequate amount of fuel in the tank to prime the system. While priming the system, you will have the return line for the fuel system disconnected. Do not start the engine with the return line disconnected or with the DAVCO unit connected. Do not crank the engine with the return line disconnected or with the DAVCO unit connected. Connect the fuel tank return line adapter to the ShopPro return line. Before removing the fuel tank cap, clean the area around the cap so the dirt and other contaminating particles do not fall into the fuel. Now insert the adapter into the fuel tank. Disconnect the truck's fuel return line at the engine block. Plug the truck's fuel return line with the screw-in plug provided in the Paccar priming kit. Install the green tether provided in the kit. This will help remind you that the engine's fuel system is not in running configuration and that you should not crank or start the engine. Now connect the priming hose provided in the priming kit and already connected to the DAVCO ShopPro to the engine fuel return at the block. Make sure the air pressure control valve lever is in the 40 psi position on the DAVCO ShopPro. The ShopPro will begin to pull a vacuum on the system almost immediately. You will need to run the ShopPro for a full 5 minutes to ensure that the system is properly primed. At about a minute to a minute and a half in the priming process, the primary fuel filter will begin to fill. This is not an indication that the priming process is nearing completion. Continue the process for a full 5 minutes. You'll also note that there are bubbles in the clear line back to the ShopPro. This is normal and should be ignored during the full 5-minute priming process. Once the full 5 minutes have passed, disconnect the hose from the fuel return line at the engine block back to the ShopPro. Remove the green tether. Reconnect the truck's fuel return line to normal configuration. Remove the ShopPro return line from the fuel tank. Reinstall the fuel tank cap. Unscrew the hand priming pump. Pump the hand priming pump 10 full strokes. Tighten the hand priming pump. Now crank the engine to start. If the engine fails to start, pump the hand priming pump another 10 strokes and then try to start the engine again.